Today, we're diving into the exciting world of Samsung's One UI and its upcoming 7.0 update. There are tons of improvements coming our way, but we can't help but wonder if One UI will ever truly shine unless it can break free from the constraints of Material U. Let's get into it. First, a little background. Material Design, now known as Material U, was introduced by Google back in 2014. It came at a time when Android needed a cohesive design language to unify its look and feel across different devices. The idea was to create a consistent user interface, UI, and user experience, UX, with guidelines that all Android phone manufacturers could follow. Material Design's principles include round corners, geometric shapes, and flat surfaces defined by shadows. It embraces a minimalist approach, which at the time helped streamline Android's diverse ecosystem. While Material U has brought consistency to Android, it also feels like a double-edged sword. As the Android landscape evolved, platforms like Samsung's One UI developed their own identities. However, these platforms are still tethered to Material U's principles, which can feel restrictive. Samsung's One UI has always been about offering a unique and user-friendly experience. But even with the upcoming One UI 7.0, we're seeing that the core design still heavily relies on Google's Material U. This reliance means that, while functional, One UI might not reach the aesthetic heights of other systems, such as Apple's iOS. Speaking of iOS, we recently saw a short animation of an upcoming Apple Intelligence feature for the iOS Photos app. The visuals were stunning, and it's hard not to feel a bit envious. iOS animations and design elements often appear more polished and dynamic than what we see in One UI. It's clear that Samsung has made significant strides within the constraints of Material U, adding more color and animation than the standard Android UI. However, when compared to iOS' continuous evolution, One UI still feels like it's hitting a ceiling. This limitation isn't entirely Samsung's fault. It's the result of adhering to Google's design guidelines. This situation highlights a broader issue: the differing visions of two tech giants, Samsung and Google. Both are working towards the common goal of providing a compelling alternative to iOS, but their design philosophies don't always align. Material Design once breathed new life into Android, making it more cohesive and user-friendly. But in today's context, where Samsung stands as a dominant force in the Android market, these design principles sometimes feel like a barrier rather than a framework for innovation. As we look forward to One UI 7.0, we hope Samsung can inch closer to its own software design vision, one that isn't as constrained by Google's guidelines. One UI has been praised for its functionality, but there's a desire for something more inspiring and creative. It's a tall order, but breaking away from Material, you could allow Samsung to explore a more distinct and innovative design language. In the end, One UI 7.0 may not completely break free from the shackles of Material U, but we're optimistic that Samsung will find a way to inject more of its own style and flair into the platform. As always, we'll keep an eye on the developments and share our thoughts with you. So, what do you think? Will One UI ever truly break free from Material U's influence, or will it continue to evolve within these boundaries? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on all things tech. That's it for today. As always, see you next time. Take care.